Hey, good afternoon, More Medic One. Today, I want to speak to you guys about metering lever height and why it's important and what you need to do to adjust it. The metering lever is basically the float inside of a float style carburetor. But since we don't have a float and all we have is a metering chamber, and once we remove the primer base, and that will uncover the metering diaphragm. Carefully remove that, and that is going to gain access to our metering lever. Underneath this lever is our needle and seat that regulates the fuel that's coming in to this carburetor. The height of this needle right here is adjustable, but how do you know if it's set correctly? A lot of us old mechanics can just take and look at it, but to know for absolutely sure, you're going to need the WALBRO metering lever tool. Looks kind of like this right here. I'll put a link in the description below to where you can get your WALBRO metering lever set tool, as also the ZAMA one. They come in a kit for about $7-8 bucks, and like I said, I'll have that in the description below, and I'll even pin it in the comments in the video. This is a very common WALBRO carburetor on Echo equipment, as far as also Shindaiwa, and we can tell that this is a WYK carburetor. So WALBRO, and it's a WYK, and that number right there, if I can zoom in on it, so 186. Now the way that you set these is that you take the tool with your carburetor model designation. This one happens to have it stamped in there. We are at a WYK, so we know that this is the correct side of the tool that we'll be using. You just lay the tool across the surface of the carburetor, and then this middle part of the tool is going to rest right on the metering lever. Now, the object here is to get the tool straight across, and you want the metering lever and the tool to be equal all the way across. But as you can tell, I am moving that metering lever without the tool being flush across. So this metering lever is too high. We need to adjust it to where the metering lever is down a little bit. So basically, you would want to physically bend the metering lever slightly. So using the tool from your pressure and vacuum test kit, slide it over the needle, and then you can take a pocket screwdriver and push down slightly on the needle, the metering lever, and then check it again. We are almost there. We need to go down just a little bit more. Oops, we went too far. That is okay. It's actually easier to adjust it when it's too far down than it is when it's too far up. See, at this point, I don't know if we can see that good enough, but now we are too far down, so we need to pick up on the needle lever just a little. This is a tedious process, however, it is mandatory. And that right there is perfection. That is absolutely, without a doubt, perfect right there. It's just touching the tool. The tool is straight across. The tool is level. Perfect. You ask though, why is this step so important? Well, think of this area right here as the float bowl in a 4-cycle lawnmower carburetor. Same kind of deal. If your float is set too high, the engine's going to run lean. If it's set too low, it's going to flood. What happens is whenever this needle metering lever is set too high and the diaphragm is sitting on top of it and pushes down on the needle, it's going to be pushing down all the time onto it, and it's going to open the needle valve all the time, and the engine's going to flood. Same thing if it's set too low. This is not even going to hardly touch the lever, and the engine's going to run lean. So that is why it's so important to, whenever you rebuild these, is just to go ahead and replace. The kit comes with a new one. Put it in there and just check it with your tool. And we'll throw a ZAMA carburetor up here in just a second, and we'll check that one too. Here is a ZAMA. It's a C1Q, very popular on steel equipment. And the way you set the metering height on this, you can use the ZAMA tool, and you find your model number designation on the tool, C1Q, which is, where is it? C1Q, it's right here. So basically what you would do on this carburetor is that you would just have it flush with the body of the carburetor, since this tool is flat. You don't even need a tool for this carburetor. You could throw your screwdriver up here actually and use your screwdriver as a gauge, but just as long as it's flat. But it's always nice to have the right tool. And that is perfect. Same thing on a ZAMA or a WALBRO. You literally just bend the tab up and down to get your correct setting. Alrighty guys, we got the metering lever heights explained on the WALBRO and the ZAMA carburetors, and I hope this helped you out. If it did, give me a thumbs up and smash that subscribe button. And while you're there, click that bell to get all my new videos. Y'all have a good rest of your Monday. More Medic One.